Hi, I'm Alex with PTS Syndicate, and today we're really proud and excited to have one of our licensors here today, Monty Leclerc from Centurion Arms. So Monty, please tell us about your background, yourself, and also about Centurion Arms.
Okay. I started probably building rifles when I was 18 years old. I've continued to build that whole time. So between AR-15s, AR-10s, Remington 700 bolt style, sniper rifles and handguns, I just continued building. It's kind of been a passion and something that I've loved to do. I also have about 20 years of special operations experience too. So when I started Centurion Arms, I kind of draw on both of those things as far as my experiences building, trying to make things easy to use, easy to assemble, as well as my experience as an end user and a shooter to go ahead and incorporate a lot of the features and functions that I see that I would like in the products that I wish were different. So that's kind of what I'm creating with what I do.
So we have the Centurion Arms C4 rail.
That is actually the first rail, first handguard, if you will, that we came out with. It was a quad rail, and our design intent for that was to come out with the most rigid, lightweight handguard, or quad rail, if you will, that attached to a standard barrel nut. The reason we wanted to do attach to a standard barrel nut was so the fact that it could go retrofitted on rifles that were already assembled without having to completely assemble them, but it was still easy to put on rifles that you were building up from scratch. So with that, what we also want to design in is some of the features, if you will, is the QD sling swivels that we have front and rear on both sides. They're anti-rotation, so it slips in there so your sling isn't going to get wound up and bind on itself. We also went ahead and put in the little cuts on each end for the Knights Armament rail panels because they were the most prolific out there.
Oh, right. These ones right here.
Yes, sir.
Right
in service. And then what we also did is it made it super simple to install from the background of building a lot of rifles. We just it uses the 4 screws in the back, if you will.
Right here and right here. Cool.
Right. Super simple. Clamps on there. And the fact that it's a 2-piece, so the bottom is all one piece there. There you go. And what it has the 2 interlocking tabs that interlock into the top rail. And then, so the clamp between this and the fact that it's a 2-piece instead of a 3-piece gives it the extra rigidity. So once it's mounted together, it becomes much more like a solid 1-piece, but yet by being 2 pieces, it's very easy and allows you to install it on, once again, rifles that are already assembled, and makes it very easy to install as a new rail as well.
Plus it uses the original barrel nut as well, right?
Yep, original barrel nut, standard part, standard quote-unquote mil-spec part or OEM part, standard across most M4s.
Cool.
So super easy to find.
All right, cool. And then the other product that you have is the Centurion Arms CMR rail.
Yes. This is basically, I guess if you will, the next generational change. As the tube thing became more accepted, came out there was a lot of really good features about it. What we want to do is improve upon what was out there. So a lot with the tube rails, they've got the continuous 12 o'clock rail, if you will, across the top. And then what it has is the built-in QD sling swivels. But what we want to do is a lot of the other tube rails, if you will, you had to put back plates to mount things on. So what we want to do is get away with that, and we want to get away from that, and keep everything super simple. So what we did is basically it uses standard threaded fasteners. And what we want to do is, instead of having pick rail for everything, basically have stuff directly mount, but then also be able to have pick rail stuff, if you will, for other accessories that are unforeseen or different that you wanted. So the generational change is obviously no back plates, easy to install. You can reconfigure your rifle with hand stops, heat covers, accessories without removing it from the rifle. Yes, basically these are for grip and as well as being a heat shield, if you will. So obviously being a small, lightweight aluminum tube, it can act somewhat as a heat sink, so a lot of heat can go into it. So these are for grip as well as a shield from heat. So basically if you're shooting heavy strings or high volumes of rounds, these will protect you from the heat. And once again, you can put them where you want. What we also have on these as well is we put cut marks on them. So basically this should line up, like if you have to shorten a rail or want to butt it up against another accessory, it should line up with some of these cut marks on there, and that should tell you when you put it on right where to cut it, and then you can mount it back on and it should butt right up against that. So that's the cut marks. Then we have the little indentions. If you wanted to mount it all the way forward, it should give it room to scoop around the QD sling swivels.
Very cool, very cool. And I know another product that a lot of people were asking about were the hand stops.
Well, what we did is, once again, as you know, the hand stop is a nice thing to have. Very, very handy and very popular these days. So what we did is we stuck with the same cosmetic configuration, if you will, for grip and the same material, so that it would also be heat resistant or give you heat protection. and basically aesthetically at least be able to match up and line up and work well with the heat covers, if you will, and plastic grip covers. So once again, yeah, that's the Scout mount, and so as you can see, it mounts, and the Scout mount was set up so that what it could do is it would mount, this one mount will mount it in the up at 45-degree position or offset position, down at the 45-degree offset position, and you can do that in any 3 of the sides that would mount to. And that's once again something that becomes a direct mount, so you don't need to add Picatinny rail to add a mount to add a light. Your light goes right to the mount, and the mount goes right to the tube. So that was kind of the design intent for this. And once again, it's the same material, and we chose not to go with metal, but specifically plastic, because it is durable enough and it is rigid enough. Enough of this stuff has been used in combat that it's not an issue. So it also acts as a heat shield, if you will, if you put your hand over it. And once again, it's the same thing with the pick rails, is they're polymer because it is strong enough to function and do absolutely everything it needs, but it can also act as a heat shield. So the tube is hot and you have a pick rail on someplace, it will also protect you against the heat, and it also, once again, keeps weight down. And we have 2 different versions of the pick rail, if you will. So we have a short one and a long one.
So, Monty, we're really excited and really proud to be working with Centurion Arms. Between your background and the excellent products that you guys make, you know, we've always been really proud to tell people that we work with you. But what made you pick PTS?
I'd say the same as me. I feel like it was a really good fit. I mean, PTS is basically the top of the industry, you know, top of the line quality products in the field that you guys work in. So I just felt like it was a great partnership.
And speaking of the collaboration between PTS Syndicate and Centurion Arms, here we have a PTS ARM4 ERG airsoft gun. And this particular rail here, this is the PTS Syndicate CMR rail that, and this is a real one right here. And as you can see, it really closely emulates the aesthetics as well as a lot of the features of the real rail. And here we have the Centurion Arms C4 PTS rail that's on a airsoft gas blowback rifle. And just like the CMR rail that we're going to be making a replica of, this PTS C4 rail will have the same sort of features as the real one. However, it is also made to airsoft spec, so it will be able to go right onto your airsoft gun without any modification. So Monty, what else is going to be coming in the future?
Well, we've got a lot of products on the drawing board. We're going to keep moving forward, keep innovating. So just keep your eyes open, and it's coming. And keep watching.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for taking time out today to talk with us and show us some of your products. We're really proud to be working with you and collaborating with you on future products as well. And we're really excited to see what is going to be coming out from Centurion Arms and also the PTS Syndicate products that we're going to be producing that are going to be replicas of those. Thank you very much.
Thank you.